Hey guys, welcome back to Axis and Allies, the Garrison, with another episode of the YouTube Wars. It is episode 3.2, correction, 3.1. It is Germany's turn, and Germany is under the command of our good friend, the Dutch Lancaster. Man, I tell you what an interesting turn this was for Germany. Germany, all out offensive Operation Barbarossa. Very aggressive Germany. I like where Germany stands. And I tell you, it's going to be interesting. You're going to enjoy this episode. Guys, needless to say, I am absolutely swamped with the number of videos that I have to be putting out on a regular basis. It's getting very difficult, but I tell you, I am giving it my best. I'm trying to keep up with my teammates and opponents during this YouTube Wars series that we're currently playing. Okay, definitely very interesting, taxing me to the limit, but I'm up to the task. Okay, so I hope I can put them out as fast or as quickly as my teammates and opponents are making their own videos. Guys, let me know what you think. Look forward to your commentaries. Enjoy this episode of Axis and Allies, the Garrison. All right, so let's go ahead with Germany's turn. Germany has, at the beginning of this round, a total of 52 IPCs. Germany rolled for its technological development, and as it turned out, Dutch Lancaster rolled a 6, which means then that with the 6, he automatically gets his weapons development. Now, the weapons development, even though he did acquire it, he will still have to pay 6 IPCs, which is what he rolled. Not only that, but the weapons development is a secret. None of us know what his weapons development is. Actually, those of us on our side, on the Axis side, we all know what his weapons development is because we made that declaration to each other early at the beginning of the game. All right, so with the 52 IPCs that Germany started with, Germany will be purchasing, obviously, technological development of 6 IPCs. Germany will be purchasing or building 3 U-boats, 1 destroyer, 2 artillery, and 4 infantry divisions newly recruited from the streets of Berlin. All right, so let's go ahead then with the current naval and ground situation for the Germans and the Italians here on the European theater side of the war. Things are very interesting. Germany and Italy are looking very, very strong, to say the least. Here you have in the Eastern Front, in the Southern Southern Army Group, you have a very strong German army, okay, pushing into very deeply already into the Soviet Union. This army group is threatening Western Ukraine and Ukraine itself, as well as Eastern Poland. What's interesting, though, is that the Soviets do have a stronghold in Belarus, where they have a sizable military presence. And as I've asked before on the previous couple of videos ago or episodes ago, what is VK Cowboy going to do with this army group? Will he fall back into Bryansk or Smolensk and defend Mother Russia, as what happened in history? Or will General Cowboy move west and retake Baltic states and Eastern Poland? Actually, not retake, but move into these territories. Obviously, the Soviets took Poland during their last turn and are currently occupying Poland. So, in essence, you have a situation here in Poland where the the Red Army is actually already at the outskirts or the border against Germany itself. So, Germany is going to have to do something about this situation here. But later on, when it's Russia's turn, the Red Army is going to have to make a decision. What are they going to do? And that's the question that I have for you guys. All right, so in the Atlantic Ocean, Germany is reigning supreme. Germany has an array of submarines all over the Atlantic Ocean. Very powerful naval U-boat presence. Okay, and as for the Mediterranean, you have a situation where you have massive fleets confronting each other. You have the Italian fleet in Sea Zone 92. You have a German fleet season 93, and several Italian destroyers in 96 and 95. Then, of course, let's not forget the British, who are still holding out in Egypt, in Cairo. And I believe they're hoping to put up a last stand to stop the Axis from coming into Egypt. And of course, off the coast of Egypt, you have a large Royal Navy fleet in Sea Zone 98. Okay, so things are very interesting here from what I can tell. So, yeah. So we'll go ahead then with the actual combat movements, and they will be as follows. All right, let's go ahead with the combat movements that the Germans will be performing this turn. As it turns out, the Germans declared a total of 7 battles, and they are as follows. You have the Battle for Karelia, Vyborg. There's going to be a strategic bomber performing an industrial air raid on Novgorod, Leningrad. There's going to be an attack in Poland, an attack on eastern Poland, western Ukraine, and last but not least, the Ukraine itself. All right, so let's go ahead then and recap those actual movements that Dutch Lancaster made with the forces of the Third Reich. All right, so in the Ukraine, you have 2 Russian infantry divisions defending. Okay, the Germans will be going in with 3 artillery divisions. Okay, 2 armored divisions, as well as 4 that are coming from Romania. All right, so the initial attack, of course, initiates from Bessarabia. Okay, total number of armored units or divisions is 6. You have 3 artillery divisions and a total of 8 infantry divisions going into the attack in the Ukraine. Okay, and defending Red Army units are 2 infantry divisions that are defending currently. All right, the battle for Western Ukraine, you have 2 artillery divisions, 3 infantry divisions coming from Bessarabia. Okay, you also have 1 tactical bomber coming from Romania at a movement of, let's pan this to my left. It's going to be at a movement of 1 and 2. This tactical bomber will have 2 movements remaining in that attack, okay, in its field gauge. So there is 1 bomber also coming from Western Germany at a movement of, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? Is that correct? Yes, 4. Coming into Western Ukraine. This bomber will have, in its fuel gauge, 3 movements left. In addition, you have a tactical bomber coming at a movement of 3 and 4, and will also have just 1 movement left in its fuel gauge. Okay, so that's a total of 2 tactical bombers, 1 strategic bomber, 3 infantry divisions, and 2 artillery divisions attacking a total of, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 Russian divisions and 2 artillery Russian divisions defending. All right. The third battle, the battle for Eastern Poland, where you have let me see, 2, 3, 4, 5 infantry divisions and 1 artillery division coming into that attack. Okay, and you have a total of 2 infantry divisions, 1 artillery Russian divisions defending Eastern Poland as well. All right, the attack for Poland itself. Here you have 2 infantry divisions and 3 artillery divisions coming into that attack. All right, and you also have 1 tactical bomber and 1 regular fighter squadrons at a movement of 1, 2, and 3 supporting that attack as well. That's Poland proper. And of course, I'm forgetting that you have an additional 2 armored units or divisions coming from Germany at a movement of 1 and 2 that will be attacking eastern Poland. Okay, supporting that initial attack, which is made up of 4 infantry and 3 armored divisions. All right, Leningrad, you have a strategic bomber coming all the way from Western Germany at a movement of 1, 2, 3, and 4, and will perform that industrial air raid. This bomber will have three movements left in its fuel gauge. Okay, Army Group North, you have 1 infantry division walking into Karelia. You have another infantry division walking into Vyborg. These attacks go unopposed and just mere walk-ins for the Wehrmacht. All right, we'll be back with the results of combat. So it is early 1941. We've been fighting this war already for an entire year. Operation Barbarossa has already been launched by the Germans. Battles have been fought during this second year already. It's early January, and here we are with the results of combat for Operation Barbarossa. So let's go into the Ukraine. All right, the defending 2 Russian infantry were wiped out. The Germans themselves lost 1 infantry division during the attack. The Russians lost 2. Okay, so the Ukraine becomes a German-occupied Russian territory. So the Battle for Bessarabia, okay, similar result. Another Axis victory. The Russian army, by the way, let me just make a correction here. I had put 1 artillery and 1 infantry additionally, which was incorrect. The total number of defending units here were 5 infantry and 1 artillery Russian, okay? So I have placed an additional artillery and infantry by error, and I have already removed them. So let's go over this battle. The Russians were wiped out. They lost 5 infantry divisions, 1 artillery. The Germans themselves lost 3 infantry divisions. So this territory, Western Ukraine, comes under German occupation. All right, the battle for Eastern Poland, another German victory. Okay, in this battle, there were 3 divisions, 2 infantry, 1 Russian artillery division defending. They were wiped out as well. The Germans only lost 1 infantry division during the attack. And of course, the last battle that was actually fought as far as actual combat, the battle for Eastern Poland. Let's turn this also before I forget. The battle for Eastern Poland. All right, actually not Eastern, but Poland itself, Poland proper. You have the defending Russian armored division and infantry division were wiped out. The Germans did not lose anything at all. Total victory for the Germans. Okay, Army Group North reports the following: successful invasions in Karelia and Vyborg, unopposed, no opposition coming there from the Russians. All right, let's come back to you with then the non-combat movements for the German Wehrmacht this turn. All right, let's go ahead and perform the non-combat movements. But before I do so, I just realized that I did not review the results of the industrial air raid that took place in Leningrad. As it turned out, the German Luftwaffe strategic bomber performed an industrial air raid. The AAA in Leningrad did engage, but did not shoot down the bomber. The bomber did, in effect, deploy its armament and inflicted 4 points worth of damage on the minor industrial complex in Leningrad. Okay, so let's go ahead and land all the aircraft for the German Luftwaffe. So the German bomber that attacked Leningrad will go ahead and, at a movement of 3, because that's how many movements it has left in its fuel gauge, will go ahead and land in 1, 2, and 3. This bomber is now in Slovakia, Hungary. All right. The tactical bomber and fighter squadrons that attacked in Poland will be moving south and will be landing in Slovakia, Hungary. All right. The bomber that supported the attack in western Ukraine will be moving, okay, has 3 movements left in its fuel gauge, back to Germany. It'll be at a movement of 1 and 2. Okay, so it's parked in Germany. One of the 2 tactical fighters, okay, that supported the attack in western Ukraine will be landing in Romania as well. All right, at a movement of 2, 1, 2, because that's how many movements it had left in its fuel gauge. And the other tactical bomber only has 1 movement left. So it has no choice but to land in Bessarabia. Okay, and of course, Bessarabia is currently German occupied. All right, let's continue with the non-combat movements. Please bear with me. It's a lot of movements that the Germans are making. So let's start first with the 2 German U-boats in Sea Zone 103. They'll be deploying into the Mediterranean at a movement of 2, 1 and 2. Both of these U-boats will be now in the Mediterranean and in Sea Zone 92. The German aircraft carrier, right, along with its complement or escort, a U-boat, Sea Zone 93, will be moving south into Sea Zone 94 and will link up with the Italian fleet off the coast of Algiers in the Mediterranean. All right, Normandy, Bordeaux, you have a German armored and artillery division moving west and will go into German-occupied southern France. Further up north in Holland, Belgium, you have 1 German tactical bomber and fighter will be moving at a movement of 3, 1, 2, and 3, and will be landing in southern Italy. The other pair of tactical bomber and fighter squadrons will be moving south and will be landing in Paris, France. All right. The German U-boat, Sea Zone 112, will be setting sail and at a movement of 2, actually 3, because there is a naval base in western Germany. At a movement of 3, will move 1, 2, and 3. This German U-boat is now in Sea Zone 103. Okay, let's go back to western Germany, where you have 1 infantry division along with 2 artillery divisions. Not artillery, correction, AAAs. Okay, they will be railroaded into Romania at a movement of 3. 1, 2, and 3. Let's do that again. 1, 2, and 3. Guys, folks, keep in mind that according to the BBR, when you're railroading units, they can move up to 3 spaces. Okay, and the number of units that can be moved is dictated by the number value of that specific territory where the industrial complex is. Also, keep in mind that if the industrial complex is damaged or compromised in any way, the railroad option is off the books. Okay, you cannot perform rail movements when you have a damaged industrial complex. All right, let's go to Berlin, where you have 2 infantry and 3 artillery divisions. We're going to be railroading all 5 units into Bessarabia. So let's do that at a movement of 3. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so in Bessarabia, you will have 2 German infantry divisions along with 3 artillery divisions coming from Berlin. Okay, let's make that movement. Get rid of this. Just one correction, the German bomber, okay, that performed the industrial air raid in Leningrad actually will be landing in Berlin itself. Okay, so both bombers are currently in Berlin. All right, the 2 AAAs in Slovakia, Hungary will be moving east and will be supporting the newly captured territory of Eastern Poland. I'll be supporting the 3 German armored divisions along with the 4 infantry divisions occupying Eastern Poland. All right, in Romania, you had 2 AAAs, actually 1 AAA, and this AAA in Romania will be moving east and will be supporting the German forces, providing AAA cover in Bessarabia. All right, I hope I didn't make too many mistakes. Sometimes it's all too easy to make mistakes when moving so many pieces at any given time. All right, so let's go ahead with the placements of newly purchased units. Dutch will go ahead and place 2 submarines and 1 destroyer, okay, off the coast of southern France, and that'll be sea zone number 93. Okay, so very formidable fleet that the Germans have, U-boat fleet for that matter. All right, another submarine, another U-boat will be going on to sea zone 105. You'll have 1 infantry division being recruited and placed in Paris. Okay, then you have an additional 3 infantry units being placed in Germany and Berlin, along with 2 artillery divisions. Okay, and that does it for the final placements of newly purchased units. Germany will be collecting a grand total of 58 IPCs that will be carried over to round 4. It is definitely a very interesting first turn for round 3 for Germany. It is episode 3.1. I like where Germany is at this moment in time. Germany has retaken Poland, has pushed the Soviets back in Eastern Poland, Western Ukraine, and right now, very solid in Eastern, actually not Eastern, but Ukraine itself. So I don't see how the Soviets could mount a counterattack against this powerful German army group. Okay, these forces, please disregard. These are the casualties that were incurred during this turn. So disregard what you see there. Okay. What is VK Cowboy going to do? That is the question. Will he fall back or will he go on the offense? Cowboy is known to be a very aggressive player. Let's see if he lives up to his reputation. All right, so it is now round 3.2. It is the Russian turn. The Soviet Union is up next. And of course, as we all know, Soviet Union is under the command of VK Cowboy. Guys, as always, don't forget to bunker down and play.